External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar addressed the relationship that India shares with China while speaking at the Asia Society Policy Institute in New York. Stating that there's difficult history between both of the nations, Jaishankar spoke about how during the pandemic, despite explicit agreements already in place, China moved a large number of forces to the line of actual control. And referring to his own statement, Jaishankar also said that he was only talking about disengagement when he mentioned that 75% of matters had been sorted out. But for a more detailed statement, listen in.
We have a difficult history with China. Despite these very explicit agreements, we saw that the Chinese, we were all in the middle of COVID at that time, if you remember, moved large number of forces in violation of these agreements to the line of actual control. Until we are able to restore peace and tranquility on the border and ensure that the agreements which we have signed up to are adhered, it's obviously difficult to carry on with the rest of the relationship. So what has been the focus for the last 4 years is to, in the first instance, at least disengage the troops. Right now, the patrolling arrangements after 2020 have been disturbed. So we've been able to sort out much of the disengagement, the friction points, but some of the patrolling issues need to be resolved.
Crossing over to my colleague Shinjoy to help us decode what exactly is being said by the External Affairs Minister. Shinjoy, I think significant remarks when he's talking about the relationship with China and the difficult history that the two nations have had, but also significantly saying that the next step will be more about de-escalation.
Well, de-escalation hasn't happened. It hasn't even started. And we are looking at 4 years almost since all this happened. First of all, disengagement, as Jaishankar said, it's only 75% complete. There are two areas where disengagement has to happen. It hasn't happened as yet. And this is where the patrolling problem comes in. After that, what has disengagement led to? Disengagement basically means that all Chinese forces are on their side of the line of actual control. While that is so, they are exactly across the line of actual control, when they should be where they were 4 years ago, where they were in their military establishments, in their cantonments, and so on. They have not got there. They have to be far away from the line of actual control. If you are disengaged and if your troops are just across the line of actual control, then there is no de-escalation. And only after disengagement ends, only after all the troops have gone across, and there are two small areas where there are problems, after that begins de-escalation. And that process of de-escalation is yet to begin. So there is a lot to be done, and we will have to see when it actually happens, because it's been several years since the Chinese were as provocative as they were. And even now, the problem has not ended. And until the line of actual control is sorted out, the rest of the relationship cannot really go forward.
Absolutely. Shinjoy, thank you so much for joining us and helping us decode what exactly the External Affairs Minister has said there with those statements. Now, with that, it's a wrap, but do stay tuned for more. Thank you so much for watching.